Hello and welcome back to my video podcast. This is Keith R. Reese, and today we're going to be talking about a good pastime to do over the holidays. And today is a special Thanksgiving video podcast for my next book that I'm going to talk about, as today is the day before Thanksgiving and people are heading out on the road or in planes or having people come over to their house for a long, restive, and fellowship weekend with Thanksgiving in this country, as we have been needing for all year, because it's been a long year of work and school and whatever else we're doing. Thanksgiving is a great weekend to get back with the family and friends, but it's also a time to watch a lot of football. But if you're not into football, one good thing to do over the holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving, is to read a book. Today, for episode 7, we'll be talking about my 5th novel, The LUNAS. And if you've noticed from the plumeria flowers on the front, this is a novel set in Hawaiian Islands, and specifically on the island of Maui. And the LUNAS, you're probably asking, what does a LUNA, or what is the LUNAS? The story is a young adult romance. The first time I've ever written a romance, so this is a first for me. And it's a young adult romance set on an actual high school, so it's somewhat of a historical fiction story. The story of the two people going to this school is fictional, but the school is real. And the program that they're enrolled in, called the Border Program, is also real as well. And the name of the school is Lahaina Luna. Lahaina is a small town on the western side of Maui, and that is the name of the school. And Lahaina Luna has the distinctive, the privilege of saying that they are the oldest high school on the western side of the Rocky Mountains, as they were founded in the 1800s. As you read this book, there is some history, and you can find out who founded the school and how it was founded, and of course, what year. And the time that the school was founded was also during a high point of the whaling industry in western Maui. At one point in the 1800s, West Maui was the whaling center of the Pacific Ocean, and that's where everybody went when it was time to hunt whales, and that was during the winter. As you will know if you've ever been to Hawaii or the Maui or the Big Island or Kauai or Oahu, you'll know in the winter months between December and say April, you will see humpback whales all along the shoreline, and fishermen and whalers knew that back in the 19th century. That it was just easy picking to hunt these whales for their oil and other goods that they derived from whale carcasses. And that is a lead-in to another part of this story. The challenge, I like to challenge myself in all the books that I write, and the challenge for this book was not only was it a romance, but also it was a story within a story. One of the characters, her name is Kayla, and they're both seniors in this high school, and she is challenged by her English teacher to write a short story. Instead of writing just a term paper on a subject, she suggested, I want to write about the whaling industry in West Maui. And he says, you know, Kayla, I've seen 1,000 papers done on the whaling industry in West Maui, but if you want to write about whales, take it up a notch. So I'm going to challenge you to put yourself in those days in the 19th century here in West Maui and tell me a story about you as you see it there in the whaling industry in those days. And she takes him up on the challenge, and so there is a short story within this book called Don't Kill the Whale. So the short story, Don't Kill the Whale, is kind of nestled in between the romance within this book. So there is another story within the story, and Don't Kill the Whale is a riveting tale of the whaling industry, and in particular whaler, I guess you could say, or seaman, that she writes about it. She makes up a story that's set there in Lahaina, and it was an exciting story for me to write and very exciting to read. So, the LUNAS takes place in 2012, and the unique thing about Lahaina Luna High School is not only is it the oldest high school west of the Rockies, it also has a unique program called the Border Program for underprivileged kids along in the islands, or kids that have come into trouble with petty crime or juvenile delinquency, whatever the case may be. They need to get off the streets or out of a bad situation at home, and the Border Program at Lahaina Luna gives them that opportunity. And these kids live in dorms. They're on campus, kind of like a small college, but it's actually a high school. And to earn their room and board, they work on the campus grounds of the high school, doing jobs around there on a daily basis. So, doing landscaping duty. They also raise pigs at the school. Hawaii is known for their luau, so there's lots of pig farms throughout the Hawaiian Islands, and one of the places that does this is at the school too. So they all have their own duties, working in the cafeteria, for instance, as you will see. And there's a lot of unique tradition at this school where they have a choir, where all the students take part in singing in the choir, and that includes the border students. And they sing very lovely Hawaiian tunes as their alma mater at the school, and other songs that are traditional songs there in Hawaii or in Maui. And I've seen YouTube videos of these students singing in convocations in the gymnasium, and it's beautiful to hear. And they also have a very unique graduation ceremony at the end of the school year that is detailed in this book as well. But the story is about Peter and Kayla, and Peter is having trouble on his native island of the Big Island, where he is from, Hawaii, and he gets into trouble with some wrong friends that he gets in, and his parents decide that the best thing for him is to be a boarder at Lahaina Luna on the island of Maui. And the way they get him into school as a senior, which is rare, that you usually have to start as a freshman, is that his father was a boarder at the school at one time too, and so he uses his leverage to get Peter into the school as a senior, and this is where Peter meets the lovely Kayla, and their friendship and romance blossoms from there. And it's a great story to read. There's a lot of description of the Maui countryside and life in West Maui and what goes on a daily basis at the school. And as I also told you about the short story of Don't Kill the Whale. So it's a very good read and a great ebook. It's also available as an ebook online, I think, for it's either $1.99 or 99 cents. I can't remember, but it's still pretty affordable. And if you have an ebook reader, a Nook or Kobo, it's available in all forms of ebook formats that you can sit on the comfortable couch during Thanksgiving and read your ebook while everyone else is watching football or stuffing their faces. So this is the book. It's called The LUNAS by me, Keith R. Reese, and it was published in 2016. So I encourage you to go out and get a copy of it, and or download a copy of it. And it's also available as a paperback, as you see, online and Amazon. So if you prefer that style, it's definitely available. And I believe the price is $10.99, maybe $11.99. Sorry, I don't have the exact prices, but that's about the ballpark. It's very affordable. It's a good book. It's a good read. It has a lot of humor in it, and along with the other classmates that they have. And there's three characters that I affectionately call the Three Stooges as they get into some madcap situations that provide as a sidebar of humor. And so pick it up. It's called The LUNAS, and I'm Keith R. Reese, and I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow, and have safe travels as well. And we'll see you next time with episode 8. As for now, this is episode 7, and I'm Keith R. Reese, so long, and have a good night.